Work together across randomly generated shifts to investigate your customers.
Without
the only problem with that one is it's just not long enough for me.
Yeah.
I tend to go through things quite quickly. I process quite quickly in terms of games, and I do like to binge.
I guess it's House Flipper, but with a slight twist of not giving a fuck kind of thing. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the To Be Decided podcast. Right. So, as always, with the podcast, we have a subject that we're going to talk about, and we've been doing it for about 11 shows now. We've done 11 episodes of the podcast, and in recent times, we've done games, we've done movies, we've done books, we've done musicals, which was actually a delight to talk about. We even done scary, spooky
skeletons.
I couldn't. We've done like ghost stories that have been true to us that we've experienced. But yeah, after episode 10, we was like, episode 10, we've pretty much done a bit of each. And yeah, this week we decided we're going to go back to games. We haven't done gaming for a while, so we're going to talk about this week some games that we've been playing. Welcome in everybody. I'm Mr. Steve, and this is Mrs. Bingley, otherwise known as Mr. Steve and Mrs. Bingley, or Stephen.
I'm Mr. Steve. This is Mrs. Bingley, also known as Mr. Steve and Mrs. Bingley. Well done.
Yeah. Well, why change a habit of a lifetime? How are you doing, Kate? How's things with you?
I'm all right. It's getting warm again, and I do not like it.
I know.
Cannot wait for winter.
I actually thinking of that the other day. I was like, I don't like winter, but I'm not really liking the summer at the moment.
No, I love autumn and winter when it gets cold, and I can wear jumpers all the time, and I can have more than one blanket on the bed. At its worst, in the dead of winter, when it's absolutely fucking Baltic, I have the duvet, which is a king-size duvet. I have a blanket underneath the duvet. And then underneath that blanket, I have my 10-kilogram weighted blanket just to keep all of the body heat in.
Damn. That's a lot.
I become a true human role.
Right. I mean, yeah. You're set for hibernation, like, clearly.
Oh, absolutely. I full-on broom it over winter, mate. I am like... It's the best sleep I get all fucking year.
Oh. That's it. That's what if so what creature would that be? Like hibernation. So if you could come back as a creature, what would it be? I mean, given that what you've just said about having to hunker down for the winter, what would it be?
I mean, the logical part of me says I'd probably be some kind of reptile, like a snake, right? But the me part of me thinks I would absolutely come back as a cat. Sleep for 16 hours a day, comes up to you, screams at you, demands pets, then walks away because fuck you. Treats.
Right.
My dream in life, which I'll get into, I'll explain more in a little bit, is to have one of those human-sized cat beds.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And lie in and go to sleep. I want one. And I'm mentioning that specifically, right? Because Mr. Bingley and I had a very interesting call this week from our landlady.
Okay.
Now, anybody listening to this who's renting, will understand the fear, because I got a text from the landlady saying, "Hiya, thank you for the rent. Can I have a call with you and Mr. Bingley this week to discuss the flat?"
Oh.
And straight away, both of us were like, shit. So our landlady is wanting to sell the flat, which means that me and Mr. Bingley have been speaking with some mortgage brokers.
Right.
To try and see if we can actually buy our own house.
Yeah.
Now, I mention this because until we have kids and therefore no room for our own space, we will both have room for a setup. You know, like for me working from home and gaming, and Luke wants a room for his own gaming stuff and for all of his Magic the Gathering cards and all of that. When I have this space, you can bet your ass I'm getting one of those giant fucking cat beds and putting it in the corner.
Oh, I love that. Definitely. See, I think we all have it in our own mind, our ideal living quarters where we would love to be, set. I'm sure we all have that. It's just it's been influenced by, with the temptation of like lottery wins and stuff like that. So without, if we didn't have the lottery, we wouldn't have nothing to sort of like greed over. I don't know if that's the right word, but do you know what I mean? You've got that idea where you can set about in your mind's eye the perfect living place. All right, we have to settle with whatever we've got, but in an ideal world, we would have. I mean, it's not like I haven't thought about this myself. Otherwise, I wouldn't be mentioning it. But yeah, 100%. If by some fortune, come my way, whether it be from lottery win or just some kind of like financial success, I would have in my mind's eye the perfect place. I've actually thought of, I mean, it's changed over the years, but it's changed not too dramatically. Gaming room would be one of them, 100%. And then I would have a Bavarian room. So Hydra would be at the head. Because naturally, that's where she would go. She would
on
be
the throne that she deserves.
Absolutely. But then around the outside, like Trailer Park Girls, there would be other reptiles.
Like Trailer Park Girls. What a phrase.
Absolutely. There would be a room, and it would be other, like, I would probably get another beardy, yes, but I would like to venture into the other world. Having the space, I would have to have the space. If I don't have that, so it's a dream. It's a dream. What it is, I'd have to have that that room where you walk in and it's just illuminated. It's just like a pet store, like a reptile pet store, basically. But like I said, at the head of the room is Hydra, frowning upon everyone who walks in the door. Just reptiles don't particularly have facial expressions, although
no, they absolutely do.
They do. I know.
They absolutely do.
Absolutely do. If you have never seen a reptile like a beardy, in particular,
I was going to say you cannot own a beardy now and not believe me when I say that the side eye is bombastic.
It's the side eye. I wasn't going to say that, but yeah, you're right.
Right.
The side eye. The
glares that we used to get from Suna. God, if looks could kill, I'd have been dead 100 times over.
I'm surprised I'm still alive. It's
right.
Good God. It's, yes, the look of shame, the look of disappointment, the look of surprise. There is so many looks. A bearded dragon's eyes are definitely...
They tell a story.
They do tell... Oh, they tell 1,000
And most of the time, it's, why haven't you fed me, you piece of shit peasant?
Yes. Literally about to say it.
Most commonly occurred just after you've ended fucking feeding them.
Right, today.
My door is closing. What do you mean my door is closing? What do you mean I've just had food? Why haven't you fed me? Why are you not feeding me?
Literally.
That's what we used to get from Suna constantly. She could have a worm in her mouth and she would still look at us with betrayal when we closed the door.
That look of no, you're not closing the door yet. No, I'm still chewing, but you're not closing the door yet.
Yeah. It's have you seen that video, that one meme of the dog with the ball and it's like, no dig, only throw.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Hydra is one of and you can always so the telltale signs, if you don't get it from the eyes, is definitely a change of colour of skin.
Oh, yeah.
Hydra goes golden, gold. Very sort of light brown stripes, but golden colour. The moment I stop feeding her, Blackbeard.
Black, yeah.
It's like, fuck you.
Oh, it's even worse when you get a chameleon. I mean, I swear to God. So we've had 2 chameleons, me and Mr. Bingley. Our first one was called Ruby. And let me tell you, this animal was Mr. Bingley's soulmate. Like, the first time Ruby saw him in the pet store, she was straight away down at the front of our glass doing like the wishy-washy hands and demanding to be out. There was one point, right, where we had her, and I'd gone home for Christmas. Luke had to stay and work. So I came home at New Year so he could go see his family and I would look after the animals. And when I tell, you have to believe me, I am not exaggerating here, right? Luke was away for, I want to say maybe a week, right? I think. She wouldn't eat. I tried to force feed her. She would try to bite me and she would spit out food. She refused to drink her water, anything. She wouldn't come down from the top of our biv. She wasn't moving. She had black colours on constantly. And considering she was a very light chameleon, right? She was usually like beautiful, gorgeous, like a sandy browns and golds. She was black. Okay. And I'm telling you all of this because the day that he came home, I was sat where I usually am. She was in her viv, which was right next to where I'm sitting. He opened the front door. She turned to look at me, saw that I was sat down and therefore the front door couldn't have been me, and ran straight down to the front of the viv, light colours on, demanding to be out because she knew that he'd come home because the front door opened and it wasn't me. So Luke walks into the front room and goes, look at her, she's demanding to be out. You're not getting her out. And I was like, what do you mean she's demanding to be out? She hasn't moved since you left. And it took a while for me to convince him that, like, genuinely, she was somehow, I mean, I know that, like, reptiles don't have brains typically, but she was somehow smart enough to realise that the front door had opened and that it couldn't be me, and therefore it must be the one that she actually wanted.
Yeah,
So anyone that tells me that reptiles do not have emotions, I do not believe them.
No, I know obviously I raised that point because it's been said, that they don't have facial. They absolutely have feelings. They have. There's definitely a look of. You can tell something isn't right. You can tell something. You could tell that they're happy. You could again. I'm going back to Hydra's feeding today, and it's literally what you covered it. You covered it perfectly, but it is exactly that. It was that. What do you mean you're closing the thing? And then that looking up at me, like, no, come on. Where's the rest of them? Where's the rest of those locusts? What are you doing? And like, I put my hands up, and I'm like, no, they're empty. Got no more. Go.
All done.
Yeah. And that look of like, no. And then it's even the food bowl with the salad. It's like, oh, you've given me salad. Fuck you. Where's the insects?
Oh, see, Suna wasn't so bad for that. Luckily, both of our BDs are very, very food motivated. But Suna, honestly, it was as soon as you opened that door. Soon as you opened that door, she didn't care what it was. As long as she could bite it, she was happy. So we'd put berries in there and she'd be straight in there. Her Viv, at one point we gave her raspberries and it genuinely, because of the red juice staining everything, looked like a murder scene. I'm sure I have photos somewhere. I'll find them and send them to you if I can.
I haven't tried raspberries.
You have to be prepared to clean the viv out afterwards because it genuinely looks like they've murdered something or someone.
Okay.
But as soon as we would put in like a handful of berries, okay, and she would go and she would start eating them. She would be eating them and be able to see that she still has a bowl full. And if we closed the door, she would still look at us like, what do you mean? Am I not getting fed? And we would have to be like, your food is there. And she's like, I know, but the door is closing. Am I not getting fed? Like, they're so smart.
Yeah.
But fuck me, they're so thick.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a common. It is. It's a 50-50. It's like, you're so stupid, but you're smart at the same time. It's just how does that even work? You can't be this smart and stupid. It's
like they have the brain cell, but it's currently working overtime to figure out how to push a pull door.
Yeah. I love that. Yeah. So, that's owning like reptiles is just as rewarding. It can be. I mean, I assume that. I know people do go on about the furry ones. Yeah. I mean, you've experienced. Obviously, you've got the difference.
Yeah.
No, I do. I've never experienced it, but like, yeah,
they're very different. But like, all pets will give you what you put into them.
Yeah.
You know. But for me, like I know that your dream room would have a lot of reptiles in.
Yeah.
My dream room, right? It would have my gaming setup, like a desk, whereas I can have my gaming setup on one side, my work stuff on the other side, so I never have to move wires. It would probably have some fairy lights up because I'm a Y2K kid at heart. And it would have one of those giant fuck-off cat beds with a lot of blankets.
Yeah.
Just so I could crawl in and curl up and probably try to force the cat in with me. And like Mrs.Bingly has said in chat, it would absolutely be her bed when she comes to visit.
Oh yeah, there would definitely be two. There would be two rooms that I would just absolutely focus on as the main two rooms and of the house. Whatever wherever it is in my mind's eye at the moment, I've got this time of night the vivs, all the lights are off, but that's when I retire to the gaming room, and the gaming setup would be a big state of the art fucking PC, and I would have microphones at work and not crackle. just
oh, such a dreamer.
I honestly, I keep checking it, right? And honestly, you might hear an echo at that point, but I'm just conscious of the fact that it's been breaking. I've uninstalled the drivers on the microphone, and since then, this is the quality that you're getting at the moment. So yeah, but like last week, it was okay at the start, and then we got to about that, the first hour, and then it went. So who knows? But I am prepared. I have got a microphone on standby, so if I need to take a quick break, that'll be the reason for it. I hope I don't have to take a break, other than maybe if I need to use the bathroom. But that would be the only time I'll be warranting a break. I hope.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah. Should we get started then with
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go for it.
Yeah, so this week, as we said, we're going to be talking about video games because we haven't done it for a while. It's been a hot minute since we've done it. It was our first episode since we started the To Be Decided podcast, which is what you're listening to now, which you can find over on Amazon or Music. You can find it on Spotify, and you can find it on Apple Podcasts and any other platforms that you can find. We also do have our own YouTube channel, the Mr. Steve and Mrs.Bingly podcast YouTube channel, which is where the edited versions of these go up as an Audible only version. So should you have only that as an option to listen to these on, you could still just listen to it in the background wherever you are. Let's get on to the games. And would you like to go first? I really don't mind, because I've got a couple of games that I do want to talk about.
Yeah, I can go first.
Go for it.
I have been playing a couple of new games recently. As you know, I've bought 2 new games this month, which I have now played both of them. Actually, I bought 3 technically. The first one that I've started playing with a couple of friends is Shift at Midnight.
Yeah.
I will go to the store page so I can give an accurate description of what it is. So it's an online co-op detective horror for up to 3 players. Work together across randomly generated shifts to investigate your customers because some are only pretending to be human. Make one mistake and you'll be forced to board up, set traps, and hide. So it's very Papers, Please.
Yes.
In a sense of like you're running a gas station, okay, and it's midnight, and you have people coming in, customers, and they have to give you their ID because there are doppelgangers in the world. And you have to figure out if these are real people or doppelgangers. And if the doppelgangers, you have to kill them. If you kill people, you lose money. And if you let doppelgangers go free, your store gets attacked. So I played it with a couple of friends. It's surprisingly fun, honestly. Like, I think you would really enjoy it, Steve.
Yeah.
I do think you should get it and we should play it together. So when I played it with our mate Ben, who we've mentioned before on the podcast, so I will say his name, he was in charge of deciding if the people were human. Another friend was in charge of like stocking the shelves and cleaning up the messes. I had the gun.
Right. So you was in charge of murder.
So, yeah. So a lot of it was just, Kate, come kill this person. Why? Because I said so. Okay. But I really enjoyed it, and I would definitely play it again. It's very fun.
I have actually got it. I was going to shout out. I have actually.
You've got it now.
I've got it. It's installed.
Oh, wonderful! We will have to play it. I will say I did get a jump scare of my life at one point because you unlock the outside of the gas station basically after doing a couple of shifts. And you find out that some of the people coming to get petrol, they could be doppelgangers, or their cars could be doppelgangers. So you have to figure out if it's a real car. At one point, I had a car without an engine in it, so obviously we were like, that's not a real car. But at one point, we went to go, like at the end of every shift, you've got to go take the bus home. And we went to go click on the bus to, go home. And Ben turns to me and goes, Kate, have a look at this window. Does that look right to you? And as I walk up to this damn bus to see what the fuck he's talking about, the bus turns into a doppelganger and attacks us, and I shit myself.
Wow. Okay.
So bad. I think I genuinely screamed. But top-notch game. I mean, I've only done like 3.5 hours of it.
Yeah.
But it is really, really fun.
Yeah.
Really fun. Another one that I've been playing, which I know you also have because I bought it for your birthday, is a game that I think a lot of the people listening to the podcast will like, especially if they're a fan of other games that I've mentioned previously. I am talking, of course, about the incident at Galley House. Now, if you're a fan of murder mysteries or point-and-click investigation games, or anything in the style of like Blueprints, you will like this game. Okay. I've played it for 8.8 hours now, and I've 100%ed the game. Okay. It is not an overly long game, but it is a very, very good one. The whole premise of this game, which I'll say for chat, because obviously I know you know it, Steve, is that you are a paranormal scientist, basically. Okay. And you've been sent to this abandoned house, Galley House, because in 1936, something terrible happened there, and nobody knows how it happened, but when they showed up, there were like 12 dead bodies. Okay. So you have to use this strange contraption to basically figure out what the different rooms in the house are, what the different time steps are, and who's in each room at different steps. You start off with not knowing anybody. They're just like numbers. So then like person 1, person 2, person 3. So you've got to figure out based on a list of people who are in the area at the time, like what their names are and what their pictures are, which you can assign to them. and then you've got to figure out who they are to each other and how they've all died. So you know what the end is to this. It is a weird mechanic. The whole, like, you know, putting in the time, the room, the people. But I really, really enjoy it. You know, it's a very different take on like a murder mystery, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You know, because you do a lot of like, especially like the point and click ones, you know, it's very like linear, or you're playing it in first person. But with this, you're kind of your first person omniscient narrator, basically, because you're not clicking through the house. You know, you can't start in, say, the kitchen and walk into the dining room. You have to say at time point 2, I want to view what happened in the kitchen when person 1 and 3 were in there. And if person 1 and 3 were in the kitchen at time point 2, the machine will let you go there and watch the scene. If you're wrong, it won't let you go there. I will say there was a twist towards the end, which I won't mention anything about because I really don't want to spoil it, because I don't think you're that far into it. But in terms of like visual novel, story-rich games, it was very refreshing. I don't know what you think about it so far, Steve.
Yeah, no, as you said, I have recently been playing it, and I've got up to a point in it where I've got to, I think, I want to say I've got up to like, I think the 7th hour, but it goes back but it does go back to a couple of hours previously to that anyway. So even though I've kind of gone past the 7th hour, I'm going back, because sometimes some hours have more than one incident happening at the time. So you have to, so they kind of overlap. So so you've got, like you said, you want to go to 01 and you want like 1 and 3 were there. And if you are correct, yes, you go there. But also at 01, somewhat
2 and 4 were somewhere else.
Yeah, so you have to sort of like, so it does give you a hint in the form of like numbers. So if there's more than one incident happening at 01, it'll say 1 or 2 or 3 or whatever, however many incidences there are at that particular hour.
Well, that's not technically accurate.
Oh, is it not? Oh, have I missed? Oh, okay.
So you're right about there being numbers, right? But if you're looking at, say, time spot 3, okay, and you've watched, actually, I tell you what, let's say time point 2, because then I can use that without saying spoilers. So time point 2, you know that everyone you know at that point, apart from I think the butler, is in the sitting room.
Yes,
whatever it's called.
Right.
And you know that when you come out of that, if it says 3. What that means is that the scene you've just watched gives you clues to find 3 other scenes.
Yes, sorry.
It's not saying that there's like 3 other things going on. It's saying you can figure out something about 3 different scenes based on what you've just heard.
I'm sorry. Yes, I miss. Yeah.
But that in itself is a really interesting mechanic, because if you're stuck and you're thinking, God, I thought I had it, but I just can't figure it out. It means you can go back and you can read through the transcripts, you can rewatch the whole scene. So if you're rewatching it and then you suddenly notice that somebody makes an offhand comment about, well, before I was here, I was talking with so-and-so, but you know that that person was in the dining room, then that's another scene that you've then unlocked, because this thing's giving you the hint to say, check this scene again, because you've missed something.
Right.
Without it being like as obvious as saying, well, you haven't got everything.
I will say, as far as like development goes, and how far I've got, I have, and I'll come back to something in a second. I have now identified, I think, all but one of the characters. I think no, I have actually identified because there's a thing within the game that allows you to apply actual pictures of the person, so you can
like avatars
of the person. And I did actually fill everyone out and find out their names, and then eventually, like, because I like to put together not just their first name but their surnames as well.
Yeah,
And
I do
was
as
like,
well.
yeah,
It helps me remember who's like the relationships between people.
Yeah. So I managed to work out that so and so was related to one of the others, and someone, you know, I mean, I'm not going to give away too much, so we can keep it in a sort of like a secluded sort of thing. And yeah, so I managed to get everything done, but there was one scene where I thought, oh, okay, I know two people were talking, male and female, and I'll say male and female for this specific reason. I got their names wrong as related to their numbers. So when I put on their avatars, the male was a woman and the woman was a male. so I was like, oh, yeah. So when I revisited them in a different scene, they appeared with another character. I was like, oh shit. I realized what I've done here. so instead of yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm just going to make up a name, but like, yeah. So instead of Dave was actually a female, and yeah, Sheila wasn't. Do you know what I mean? It was, yeah. It was like, oh, okay. I've got them got the avatars around the wrong ways, but yeah, I named them correctly, but I got the wrong avatars. But yeah,
we put the wrong images on them. I get that. I mean, the one thing that kept tripping me up, right? I would always remember to change 2 of 3 things. So on this thing where you've got to put everything in, like I said, you've got to put in the time, you've got to put in the room, and you've got to put in the people. Every time I had to move from one scene to a next, I would either forget to change the damn time.
Oh, yeah.
The most common one was forget to change the damn room. Or forget to change the damn characters. So then I'd pull the lever and nothing would happen. And I'd go, what do you mean nothing's happening? It's the only option for what's left. And then I'd look at it and I'd be like, oh, I'm still in the fucking kitchen. No, like when I tell you, I got stuck for like a full 45 minutes because of that. And once I realized how stupid I was being, it pissed me off so much.
Yeah, because it does that thing of like, I know I'm right. I know I'm right.
What do you mean I'm wrong? It's the only option.
What are you talking about? What do you mean? What do you mean? Yeah, no, I have done that, but that said, I did manage to get a couple of things correct because, like, because I have a very limited concentration, as you well know. So if I manage to get something and I'm correct, I do give that little clappy of hands and a little pat on the back because I'm like, oh, I got it right because it meant that I paid attention long enough to know what was going on.
I mean, I will say I did have a similar moment. So at one point, I don't know if you'll be there yet if you've only gotten to time slot 7, but at one point, you know how like every so often you'll come out of the scene and there'll be like a piece of evidence at the machine?
Yeah.
At one point, there's one that tells you who, like a person, the very last time slot and what room to look at.
Oh, yes.
And I went and I watched it, and then I was like, wait a minute. If he's there and that's happened, then the only place it could have come from would have been this point. Right. I managed to work it back about 4 steps just with like guesswork and fucking intuition. And I was so proud of myself.
Well, yeah, no, I've done something similar, but like, yeah, it's discovering. And it's just making sure that, because like you said, you can play some of the dialogue again if you wanted to. You can it splits up into sections, so you don't have to go through the whole scene, but you can pick the right one piece of dialogue. You can replay it. There's a play button, or you could just read through it, the transcripts, and you can work out. There's been a couple of times where there's multiple members of the house.
Yeah, like 2 people all go to one room afterwards and then the other 2 will leave to go somewhere else.
I did struggle a little bit, and there is a hint system if you need it. And I will say, on a couple of occasions, I did use the hint system, but then I kicked myself for using the hint system on one occasion because I was like, oh, yeah, you're an idiot because you should have realized that because of the thing. So I try not to use the hint system, which is, again, goes back to that praising myself.
Mhm.
for getting it. But
I mean, I did have to use it at some points. Like,
Yeah.
I think at one point I'd been putting it in the machine wrong and not realizing it before I'd realized that I hadn't been changing the room. And I'd been stuck on it for that long. I was like, I literally don't know what other option it could be. I was so sure I was right, and I did have to use the hint system before I realized, and it was like, oh, you actually put it in wrong. That's why it's not working.
No, I think for me it comes down to attention span, and it's like that.
Yeah.
It's literally, I couldn't remember what of the characters went to what room, but I knew what the room was, and it's like by that, I also have worked out I've unlocked other rooms. It does me no good. I'm just proud that I've unlocked rooms because I've worked out what the initials need to be for that room to exist. So,
oh yeah, I mean, once you had one of the rooms that that like depends on a person. I'm not going to say the details of it, but then you start going through all of the other names that and being like, well, does this person have it? Does this person have it? Does this person have it? And you manage to unlock like 75% of the room.
Yeah, yes, yeah, exactly. So that's why.
And it doesn't help you until like 3 steps later, but you've got them.
Yeah, so I've basically, as far as the mansion's concerned, I think I'm pretty much done with the locations, but I don't know why. I don't know what connects any of them, but it's just that's just how my brain is being able to work out what letters I need to use for certain areas. I'm like, oh, I know what KI means. It's kitchen. Okay, so we're just, as a obvious hint, but like,
oh, well, if KI's kitchen, then let's try SI for sitting room. Let's try, BE for bedroom or LI for library.
But it gets a little bit more specific later on, and then you start to have to work out. But yeah, it's been a really good run, and it is, because I said it to you a while ago, and I'll say it for the listeners, but like, it's basically, I'm looking for I wanted to look for something that replaces the Slay. Nothing wrong with Slay the Spire 2 or Slay the Spire 1 for that matter, but Slay the Spire 2 more specifically, because that's what we've been playing a lot of. I needed something to get me off of that. Like, when I come home over nighttime and I don't have the attention span to want to watch something and sit there and watch something, I might still have the energy to want to play something. But again, something that's pointy and clicky as this is, that, yes, it
doesn't necessarily need like your coordination. But
no, it doesn't need coordination, but yes, it does acquire a little bit of attention. So I could apply enough attention to this without it being Slay the Spire, which is a slightly different game,
which is very tactical.
It's very tactical, and it's very RNG. Let's face it.
Yeah.
RNG.
But I know what you mean. Like something like this, it's a different kind of attention. You're paying attention to detail in this.
Yeah.
In something like Slay, you're paying attention to like dynamics and tactics, and
it's getting it's getting a little bit like, oh, because of the RNG, I've died too many times that I care for. As a result. And I've said it multiple times now, but I can play Slay the Spire, get through, get all the way through 3 bosses and feel great about it and go, let's apply that to when we're playing with Kate. And of course, yes, it does upscale. I know it does upscale the difficulty, but at the same time, you're like, the RNG really fucks with you, because it's like, oh, if only I had these cards that I had last time, and the combination was brilliant. It worked great, and you want to get out. I just want to get out of that thing, and I just want to. Obviously, again, I've said it before. My work acquires me to finish late. You're not going to be around, and you're the only other person that I would play Slay with. Amongst our a group of friends that we have. So, I'm not going to ask you to join me at 11:30. So, I want something that's single player and something that's chill. And yes, it is chill because it's solving a mystery. It's becoming a bit of a detective. But I like this. I like it a lot. I can't wait to play some more. I will probably do some later on tonight. I don't know, but we'll see how it goes. We'll see how. Yeah, well, let's see how this podcast ends up. But yeah, I've enjoyed it. It's great, and thank you very much for the gift because I very much appreciate it.
Good, I'm glad.
But yeah, so that's that one. Yeah, I anything else do you want to throw in? Like, I mean, I could come back to you.
Yeah, I mean, there is one more that I've just started today, actually. So the other game that I bought this month it's been on my wish list for a very long time, and I kind of indulged this month because I've like budgeted well. And it's called Stray Gods. You might have heard of it.
Yeah.
I actually thought you already had this, but you informed me that you didn't. It's a role-playing musical, which for some people is going to sound like hell right off the bat. Okay. But if you look at the store page, it tells you that there's gods, romance, murder, musical numbers. You play as a woman called Grace in a world where Greek gods live in hiding among people. Change your fate as you draw friends, foes, and lovers into song using your powers of musical persuasion to unravel the mystery of the last muse's death. So basically, the last muse has died. She's been killed. And when she dies, you become the new last muse. And I'll not give spoilers, but you, for reasons that you will find out, you have to figure out who's killed this muse. And to do so, it's a choices matter, like interactive story. So some of it is time sensitive. Like in the songs, you have to make quite quick decisions on what you're going to choose. But a lot of the time, it's just like conversations. And you're basically going around this pantheon to figure out what's happened and save yourself in the process. I'm like nearly 5 hours in today. I'm really enjoying it. I think I said to you, I've been looking for a game that'll do the same thing for me that Blueprints will do, because Blueprints fucking absorbed my life when I started playing that. I still haven't quite 100%ed it, but I was up for like 24 hours straight when I first started playing it, because it absorbed me so much. And one thing about this is, because it's choices matter, the outcomes will change. I've already seen so many different options where I can see where the outcome will change. You can romance certain people, you can choose not to trust people, you've got to take sides at some point. So it's like, if you enjoy something like that and you're looking for something that's a bit more of a solo game that you don't really have to like concentrate, but you can just enjoy it. It's kind of like you're like watching like a TV show or something, and you're clicking on the options. It's not got a lot of animation. There's some movements and stuff in it, but a lot of it is like almost like frozen scenes and expressions, and then you read the text and then it moves on to the next one. But it's really good. I mean, it's a fairly old game, I want to say.
No,
let me have a look and see if I can see when it first came out.
It came out. It's only about 3 years old. Like, well, it was. It came out exactly 10th of August, 23.
Oh, wonderful! Well, it did win an award in 2023 for Game of the Year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's overwhelmingly positive reviews. 94% of nearly 2,000 people. Very positive. It won't be everyone's cup of tea, but it's my cup of tea. And I think it would probably be your cup of tea as well, to be honest, Steve, considering how much you enjoyed like this batch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It feels very similar from what I saw of you playing it.
Actually, just because I've just briefly watching the trailers of it, aesthetically it looks really good. It looks beautiful, actually. It is very much Dispatch kind of esque in that it's very cartoony, very cartoon book. The way its aesthetics are. It does look good. I'm very tempted to just push the add to the cart. I'm not going to lie.
Honestly, I'd say it's worth it.
Honestly, right now, I'm not actually purchasing it right now. I honestly, looking at it, I'm going, this looks good, and you're selling it very well. And
yeah, I'm trying not to give any spoilers because I do feel like it's something that you will play. But with it being a choices matter, like it doesn't really matter how much I say because your run through of it could be completely different.
Different, yeah. Choice Matters games.
I feel like it.
Go on. No. Sorry, I was just going to say, Choice Matters games do that for everybody, don't they? They can absolutely change the game.
Yeah, like I feel like it's going to have a lot of like replayability. I'm going to be very tempted to, because I'm a little bit of an achievement hunter when it comes to those kind of things. I feel like I'm going to end up going through it, looking at the different achievements I haven't done, and trying to figure out what choices to take together, which I do quite like.
Now, I'm not going to say I've just purchased it,
but
it's ready to download. And the reason I'm not downloading it now is because I've got no reason to do it right now.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I've just bought it. so thank you for that. I look forward to playing it, and I'll let you know how I get on when I get a chance. Obviously, there's these. Is it the Shifts at Midnight? Is it? Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's
that Shift at Midnight.
There's that to play, so we've got that to do. Obviously, you said it's a single player anyway, so I've got this. I've still got the other game that we just spoke about, Galley House. Yeah. I've still got that to finish. So I've got a few games, and already there's a couple of like single player type games. So I've got a lot to do before we can before the next time we do another gaming edition. So yeah, hopefully by then I'll be able to get back to everybody and say, look, yeah, you know what, I've played it since then. So I've added that. That's going to be on my desktop for ages. That's a TBR. I was going to say TBR, but that's TBP to be played. So yeah, that's going to be there. That's in my library now of things that I need to. At some point, I'm going to get through them. Hopefully, but yeah, Shift at Midnight, and then this one. Looks good. Love the aesthetics. I cannot wait to try it out. Yeah.
Are there any other games you want to mention?
There is actually. Yes.
Oh, go on.
Actually, I have got a couple of games I wanted to talk about. Obviously, we've spoken about the incident at Galley House. There is something that came up. It's actually an old game. I'm going to briefly talk about this one before my main feature. Excuse me. Project Zomboid just came out with a massive update. And I say massive update. It's like it's been out. It came out actually 2013. Yes. So it's been out quite a while. For those who don't know, Project Zomboid is the ultimate in zombies survival game. You could play alone or in multiplayer. You loot, build, craft, fight, farm, and fish in a struggle to survive. It is a hardcore, emphasis on the word hardcore, RPG skill set. A vast map, massively customizable sandbox. And it just basically says, how will you die? It is obviously, like I said, survival zombie, open world, multiplayer, sandbox game. It is a pixelated game as well, graphically, but it's got a massive learning curve. Like I said, it's just had this big update, and that's the reason why I'm coming back to it is because of the update. I haven't played it in ages, so I've already spoken to it on one of the other podcasts that I've done. I'd already covered it on that. But for those new listeners, this is what it is. It's developed and published by the Indie Stone. It's currently $22.49 on Steam. That's £22.49 British pounds. So yeah, if you haven't heard of it, then this is why I wanted to give it a bit of a shout out. Like I said, it's a massive learning curve. It's not how you die. It's when you die. The game literally starts and said, "This is the moment you died." Literally, it actually spoils it.
Okay.
It's a permadeath game.
Ooh.
Literally, your character, if you do die in game, you can actually find your previous character, and he will kill you.
Oh, well, I kind of like that.
So it is a very, like I said, it's a very difficult game to play, but once you get into the nitty-gritty of it, it's possible, and I know this from watching tutorials and stuff, it's possible for people to in-game live for weeks. In fact,
Nice.
when I first mentioned this on the other podcast, I mentioned the fact that someone had played this game and they'd had thousands of hours put into it only to die by a stupid mistake. As well, it was like a silly mistake. I think it was one of those. It was one of those throwing the keyboard out the window kind of thing.
I mean, if I had 1,000 hours in a game without dying, and then I killed myself doing something stupid, I would absolutely do the same thing.
It's honestly though, the survival rate of this is quite it's quite low. But
yeah,
again, like I said, it's a permadeath game. Once you you can create your character. And you can have so many different traits. For example, if you choose your character to be a smoker, then your character heavily relies on smoking and the need for cigarettes. In fact, you get stressed a lot quicker than normal.
Okay.
If you don't have cigarettes. If you have cigarettes, then your stress levels do reduce. You can be slightly deafened. You can be deaf. In fact, the game reduces the sound by that that trait of alone. If you go into a house and you find a headset and you equip it to your secondary slot, it will help in listening to the radio. Now, listening to the radio is important because it does give key locations as to when there's a helicopter drop. But you need to be at that location at that particular time and that particular moment.
Yeah.
To get to that location, good luck, because it's so you do have to try and find. For example, I broke into a house the other day. I found a set of car keys. Could I get into the car? No, I couldn't. It was surrounded by zombies. So you have to, but you got to face the fact that when starting this game is incredibly difficult. It does get better later on, but it's and like I said, it's a learning curve. Crafting takes a while. You do need to read books. If you don't have the traits to be a good crafter, like, for example, I became a medic, therefore my healing was beneficial to me, but other skill sets are not. So you could be, again, like I said, you could be a farmer, you could be a firefighter. Obviously, firefighters, they're going to be good with axes. So you'll be able to pick up an axe and you'll be slightly better than someone else. It is, again, you can play alone or you can play in multiplayer. Multiplayer does seem to be the way forward. Where you can meet up with friends and you work together. Crafting becomes a little bit more easier because you're working together. You can have, if you imagine having, say, one of you is a medic, one of you is a firefighter, one of you is like a police officer. You've got the skill sets there of someone who's able to shoot, someone who's able to use an axe, and someone who's able to heal. But you could work together in that way. Obviously, if you're playing alone, that does reduce depending on your skill sets. You have to you can add positives, but you then have to weigh it up with some negatives.
Oh, so you can't just make like the world's most OP zombie hunter.
Oh, no. Yeah, you can't do that. So you have to take on, before you can press start, you have to include negatives. Okay. And those negatives need to outweigh the positives. So they need to balance it. So if you have a very OP, for example, farming might give you a +4. Before you could push start, you need to balance it out with a negative that brings that +4 down so that you level it out. So you have to level out your negatives and your positives. Otherwise, you can't start the game.
See, I do like that because I think it kind of forces everybody to be a bit more realistic.
Yes, yeah. like I said, you could be a burglar and you just won't your fingerprint. You won't leave fingerprints, but you'll be light on your feet, so you'll have less your less heavier footsteps.
Yeah.
So you could do that. A butcher, you'll be able to get meat quicker from wildlife, from deer or hunting deer. So you'll be able to, you'll be able to skin a deer quicker than, say, someone who isn't a butcher. So there's certain traits which will help you, and obviously some that won't. It's very good. I do enjoy it when I play it, and I don't enjoy it, but at the same time, it's that learning curve. I've managed to start again so many times. I've started again, but because of the recent update, that's why I've gone back to it. Again, you gotta just be a bit more wary about it. You do have to. It is PC. I do believe it's PC only. I think you can use a controller, but using the keyboard is better because of the multiple choices of buttons that you can press. So key binding is kind of like essential. I think key binding is big in this. I say think because I've never really explored it enough just to give that definite answer. But yeah, like if you find a pen and a piece of paper, you can mark somewhere on the map. So you could actually place a cross if you don't have a pen. Things like finding literature is going to help you massively because it could be a book on how to be a carpenter, so you get skill sets.
Okay.
So you could find a book like that, or you could just find a comic, and that's going to relieve your boredom. Not just watching TV, listening to radios. Again, if you find headsets headsets to plug in, so that when you do get to a TV, you'll naturally tone down the volume. So that toning down the volume obviously doesn't mean that zombies can hear the sound and they're not going to knock on the door, bang on the windows. Closing curtains, turning off lights inside of properties. I say properties because it could be any sort of building. Could be a cafe. It could be a police station. Could be a hospital. Could be anywhere. Could be just a roadside cafe or a garage. Everywhere that you go has somewhere to loot. Certain places are better than others. It's really, I'm not sure. It could be RNG on that. I think it could be that. But yeah, I've gone back to that because of the massive update it's had. And I say the massive update. I think, yes, it's a major update. It's like builds 41 and 42.19. It's just come out. And like I said, we're now in 26. It came out in 13. So, do you know what I mean? It's got 13 years added to it. So it's been out a long time.
If people are still playing it 13 years later, they're doing something right.
At $22.49, it's not bad price because of the longevity of the game. It's the game lasts as long as you're willing it to last, or as forever many hours. This could be the one and done game that you only buy. Could be the only game you buy ever. I've got 25 hours in the game overall. I didn't buy it when it first came out. I must mention that. Like I said, I played this the last time we did the podcast. It was about 2020. So even then, the game had been out a few years since we did that. So, it's been about 3 years since I last played it, possibly. I put in about an hour and a half the last time I played it, just because I think I was due to stream yesterday, so that was the reason. So I really wanted to bring that back into the mix and sort of mention it, give that a bit of a shout out. Yeah. Anyway, on to my main Unless you've wanted to mention anything.
No, go for it.
No. My main game. Halo Campaign Evolved is a reworking, a remake of Halo Campaign Combat Evolved, which came out in, I don't know, the early 2000s. I don't actually know when it came out. It came out in 2011, I think. Yes, it came out in 2011. The anniversary came out in 2011. The actual, I think the combat, it came out in 2001. Now I've just got the information. There we go. So it originally came out, it was developed by Bungie originally, and then Microsoft and Xbox and they all, who was it who recently done it? Xbox Game Studios done it originally, the remake. It was originally just for the Xbox. It came out on the first Xbox way back in 2001. It's now released for the PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and obviously Windows. Because obviously, Microsoft. It is a first-person shooter. It is a action co-op single player. It's a sci-fi shooter. It tells the story of Master Chief, who is the what is he? I think he's what are they? It's like a half man, half machine kind of thing, like a cyborg. I think that's what it is. Yeah. So yeah, you play as Master Chief, who is in hot pursuit from this alien race called the Covenant. The Covenant is chasing you for reasons that if you play some of the later games, I think it's Halo Reach actually does a backstory. So it's the prequel to why we get to this point in the time. But the campaign Evolved, like I said, is a remake of Combat Evolved, and it's a first person shooter, and you go around and you are basically you are humanity's only hope, and alongside Marines, you have to try it. You're on board the Pillar of Autumn, which is being pursued by the Covenant. They are shooting you down. You have to crash land on this alien world called Halo. So called because it is a halo. It's a giant circled ring world, and you have to try and find your crashed. I think they're what they called ships that are launched from the. What are they called when you? I can't think what they're called.
I genuinely do not have a clue what you're talking about.
Shit. When you escape pods, that's it. You're trying to find escape pods. Fucking hell, I couldn't think. So the Pillar of Autumn crash lands on this, and you have to look for escape pods. You look for survivors from the Pillar of Autumn, and then you discover that the Covenant are trying to, for some reason unknown, they're trying to take over this haloed world, and you need to stop them because they're going to unleash a bad entity into this world. The bad entity that is the Flood. The Flood are a dangerous species of. They're a chemical sort of species which they lash onto you and they turn you into a kind of zombie-like creatures. So you need to stop this from happening. Otherwise, they're going to take over and they're going to pursue. I think their main pursuit is to try and. They're not too. The Halo world is just outside of the universe, but they're managing. The Covenant are hell bent on trying to destroy humanity, and with this idea that they're also going to use the Flood to try and do it. The kind of thing. It's a mad. It's kind of a sue against you're trying to pursue against the Covenant to stop them at any cost necessary, even if it does mean losing some of your comrades in this battle between the two factions. The Covenant are made up of different species. The species are grunts, which are little creatures with sort of pyramid-shaped things on their backs, and they are the front line. They're kind of the pawns of the Covenant. They are led by the elites. The elites are the ones giving them their instructions. The elites are the same sort of size as the Master Chief in human form. They are they're bipedal. All of the creatures are bipedal, but they look sort of familiar. Some of the creatures look a little bit sort of like the jackals. They look a little bird-like. They have beaks at the front of their mouths, but they also have shields, sort of energized shields. So those are the main antagonists in this, other than the flood, which I'm going to get to. I had a script for this and I completely forgotten it, but yeah, I'll kind of breeze through. I'll try to get through it as quickly as best I can. So yeah, like I said, you play as Master Chief. You're going against these Covenant. Covenant are made up of different types of creatures. The creatures are grunts, elites, jackals, and I mustn't forget hunters. Hunters are these bigger, much huge creatures, and they are very heavily armored. The only time you can actually damage these is to try and find little gaps in between their armor, orange areas which are fleshy parts of the hunters, and if you can shoot those, that's the only time you can really do them any real damage. The elites, like I said, they are similar to you, that they have overshields. Take down their overshield, then you can shoot them after a few hits. The grunts, they don't have any sort of shield at all. They, like I said, they have this sort of pyramid thing structured to them. Shooting those will kill them instantly. And then there's the jackals with the shields. Shoot a shield, don't do any damage, but if you shoot around the shield, you can probably knock them back. They stagger, that you can kill them that way. Once the shield's gone, that's it. They've got nothing to defend themselves. In fact, the jackals, once they lose their shield, they will then turn and try to hide somewhere. But of course, you're quicker than that. You're quicker than they are. So you shoot them. Well, at least your bullets are quicker than them. You can shoot them with a couple of body shots will kill them, or a headshot would kill them instantly. You do have choice of weapons. There's quite a few weapons to choose from. In fact, you've got the human weapons. So the human weapons, you've got the AR, the auto rifle. You got a pistol. You have frag grenades, and then later on you get given like sniper weapons, and as well as you have rocket launchers to help you with your assortment of your arsenal. The aliens also, like the Covenant, they do have their own weapons. They have their similar sort of guns, but they're more battery operated. So they shoot lasers, which instead of bullets, but they are limited to battery life. So once the battery life has got depleted, you can no longer, obviously you throw it away, you pick up a new weapon. They do have sort of hand pistols, which is their version of hand pistols, but they can be charged. So you charge up these weapons, and it's usually the jackals that carry these. So you charge them up by holding down the trigger button and then firing off one single burst, but that does cause the pistol to overheat, so you can't reuse it until it's cooled down. Same with all of the Covenant weapons. Once they overheat, you have to allow them to cool down before you can use them again, or until the battery runs out, in which case they're no good. You then have to discard them and find something else. So throughout the battle, throughout the fighting, you do land on different locations throughout the Halo world. Some places like there's a beach area that you land at. I think it was the original demo. So before you played the full game, there was a demo version, as is in most cases of any type of game. There's different areas, different locations. There's some locations which is covered in snow, some locations which require you to fly. So the only way you can fly is to commandeer the Banshees, which is the convenient way of getting around. So you've got also, vehicles. I must mention, obviously, vehicles. The humans, the military, have warthogs, which is a weird sort of Jeep type thing, which has independent turning. So like both rear and front axles both turn independently of each other. Very odd way in which you drive around, but it does require that you turn. In my case, like, you can use the controller. Of course I don't. I use the keyboard and mouse. So for me, I'd be using the mouse to turn, and obviously the WASD keys to go forward, backwards, and left and right. But you are doing that independently of each other, of the wheels. So it's a very unique way of turning. With the Warthog, can carry 2 passengers. So anytime you land and you have one of those, if you've got Marines around you, 2 of them will jump on board. So one will take the passenger seat and ride shotgun, whilst the other one jumps onto the turret. There's a back turret, and you drive through any of the locations and all of the Marines. I will say, I feel like the AI favors the villain rather than your ally.
Yeah,
I feel like that it just makes the game that little bit more difficult. So, like, for example, the AI on that you're having your Warthog, you'll be going along, you'll shoot at something, the AI will spot it but completely miss. It's like, well, you're useless. I mean, they do get some shots in, but they don't finish the enemy off. It's like they're designed deliberately to do damage but not kill. Whereas the Covenant is that you will die. And you, like I said, you do have an overshield. And once that's depleted, you have to try to take cover for it to recharge. Otherwise, you will, like I said, you can die from it. And then it's just basically reset from a previous checkpoint. Checkpoints are given throughout automatically. I did play one section of the game where I kept dying because every time I spawned in, it was literally as I was dying. So there's a slight design flaw there, but that was like auto save can be a real bitch at times in this game. In some cases, any game where it's auto save, if you are about to die as a result of being hit too many times and your shield hasn't charged, that was a real pain. It will allow you, though, for those instances where it does happen too many times, it will take you. If it does happen too many times, you can go back to a previous save point, which is a bit annoying, but it's a little bit more fairer than just keep dying on the same spot over and over again. Honestly, I was like, oh, please let this end. It was like spawn, death. So yeah. So it's kind of irritating, but like I said, it will eventually realize that you're in a tricky spot and take you back to a previous save. Yeah, the gameplay is very fluent. It's very graphically. It's a remake. They remade it from the ground up with additional missions, but the missions are not included in the main campaign. It doesn't take away from the original campaign, which came out in 2001. You do play on graphically enhanced. I will say that. Like I said, there is a beach area. In the beach area, obviously, there's a tide coming in, and you can see it. The water effect is much better than it was originally from originals things that I've seen. Your armor. Now, you can customize your armor. You can customize your weapons. if you bought, I don't know why you would want to do this. If you spent, it is £70 if you bought the pre-ordered it, but does open up better skins and better skins for your weapons and better skins for but that's all it is. It's skins. It's just giving you that option. I bought this, I think, the day before launch, but because I bought it the day before launch, I got it preloaded. So yeah, obviously been on Steam, it preloaded the game before the game was released. And I think I paid about £50. I guess people want to know whether or not should a game that is 2001, so 25 years old.
Yeah.
Should you spend? I mean, I don't know why people are spending £70. First of all, for that, is £50 worth it? It has been redone. It has been a lot of the original cast came back in to re-record all of their lines that they did in the original Halo game. It's for nostalgia's sake. Is it worth it? I mean, if you're coming into this as a brand new player, you are going to spend that money anyway. So I guess that's where they're trying to justify it. But again, it's a game that's 25 years old. Is it worth the extra? Is it worth the extra content of having those extra missions? Again, those missions can only be played from the start menu. They don't play into any of those of the main campaign. The main campaign, which I have done, by the way, I've completed it on normal settings and I've restarted on. So you've got easy, normal, heroic, and legendary as difficulty settings. I restarted on heroic just because, and plus the fact that I found one of the skulls. Okay, so the skulls are original from the original game. There's 42 skulls to be found. Those skulls that you find do give you certain perks. Like, for example, the skull that I found gave me unlimited ammo for every weapon and unlimited grenade.
Damn, okay.
So playing it through heroic, yes, the game is difficult, but I've made it easier for myself by not having to look for ammo. I can just use the same weapon, and the only difference is I have to reload, but it's unlimited ammo. So yeah, finding other skulls, and there's 42 to be found. There are other things that you can find throughout the maps. For each section, there are terminals, and there are, like I said, there's the skulls. So there's certain things that it's asking you to find. I found a couple of the terminals. I don't know exactly what you get from doing that, other than an achievement. If you are big on achievements, as they are, I think I'd have to go into the library for it. I can't remember the exact number. No, it doesn't. I can't remember why. For some reason, I can't get the number of how many achievements there are. But anyway, I did it in about 10 hours. It does. There's 58 achievements. So there we go. I found it. 58 achievements, of which I have barely touched many of them. Most of it comes down. I've got 19 out of 58. Just playing it through once, and that's because, you get an achievement for every level you play, of which I think there's about 10 or 12. I'm not sure. I can't remember the exact number. You kill a certain number of different types of convent. If you shoot, for example, the grunts backs a number of times, that's an achievement. If you shoot the jackals shields a number of times and disarm them, that's an achievement. The flood, must mention the flood. I did mention it briefly. that is a sort of second enemy that you have to face. So not only do you have to face the Covenant, but also the Flood. The Flood is a disease. It latches on to anyone who's died, anyone, human or Covenant, either are just as edible. Guess once the Flood land on those, they can be affected. They can raise the dead. So you shoot someone down, the Flood comes along and raises the dead. If you don't kill a zombified dead completely, like the only way to actually kill them outright is to just completely destroy them, so that they do actually vanish. So there's no corpse at all. You'd have to take away the limbs. Destroying them would be the best way to destroy them. You would be involving like grenades or rocket launchers or such like. I think shotguns do help as well, explode their bodies. But yeah, the flood makes it much more difficult because not only, again, you're going against the Covenant and the Flood. So there's two enemies. In fact, no, technically there's three, but I won't go into that. Later on, it gets much more complicated. But yeah, there's a reason for destroying the Covenant and the Flood, in terms of like plot points and stuff. I don't need to mention it. If you've played it originally, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, do you want to play something that's 25 years old?
I don't want to spend that much money.
No, on the face value of like the cost, I don't think it's worth it. But on the nostalgia thing, that's what it's going to do. It's going to bring back memories of playing it originally to 2000. If you played it in 2001, or if you played it on the 2011 updated version. I say updated. It's not the remake. It's more just updated. Again, yeah, 50 quid. It's a little bit pricey to be playing something that's 25 years old, but it is. Yeah. But again, I'm only stating this because there will be people out there say, "Oh, you forgot to mention this." Graphically, it's been rebuilt from the ground up. It's not a graphical overhaul. It's a graphical overhaul. It's not what's the word I was looking for? No,
not like a remake.
Remake.
It's just been,
yes. Yeah. So it's completely been redone with the voice actors coming back in. Some voices, I don't think they can. Not all of them came back in, but there's some that retired. But the biggest. There was a couple of problems that I found with this. There's musical. Throughout certain sections of the game, certain pieces of music is played.
Mm-hmm.
This was ruined because they played two types of music overlapping each other, which I felt was, there has been an update since, but why before the update came out, I was playing a section of the game where it should be. I recognized it in the background as it's supposed to represent the Flood. So I can't remember the actual who conducted the actual music, but they did it in the same way a film would go about making music, or like Danny Elfman, for example, would have for a particular character's entrance, there's music for that particular character.
Yeah.
For a particular section of the film, there was a particular piece of music. Same with this. There's a particular piece of music for each section of the game, so that it builds tension. I had the tension music with the main theme overlapping. And that ruined it for me a little bit. I had to turn the music off. I had to go into the settings and completely mute it, which lessens the blow of the excitement and the terrifying moment. I know what's coming. I've kind of seen it before, but
there's not a point where it ruins the immersion.
It's the immersion of it that was ruined. Like I said, there has just been an update, but the update came too late for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, there was a couple of bugs in it. It was mostly audible. Which for someone who, and I scared that I'm ruining my own saying this now, but for someone who edits their own podcast, I'm very much into Audible stuff, and I do listen to sort of like peaks of things in terms of Audible and stuff. So I'm kind of tuned into it. So it was noticeable for me a lot more because I could hear it. And
yeah, you're used to listening out for it.
I'm listening out for things like that. So yeah, so that ruined it for me. As far as the gameplay is concerned, it's the same game as it was 2001, but it's just graphically better. Is it worth? Yeah, is it worth 50 quid? No. Sorry, it isn't. Yeah, but look, it gave a moment of nostalgia, and that's all it's going to give for anyone who's played it. As a brand new game, for someone who's coming into this, I would recommend it for a new player, but I wouldn't recommend it for its price. And I think that's a fair assumption of my experience. Like I said so many times, it's one of those games that didn't need to be remade. I think, do you know what? It got people talking back then, and it's getting people talking back now. But is it for the same reasons? No. People do complain about the fact that there is certain bugs in it, as I've experienced. Other people
always complain about bugs, won't they?
Yeah, and the fact that it's as old as it is, but it did introduce a new generation of FPSs to console players. Like I said, this originally came out on the Xbox, so people who had the Xbox were able to play it. People who had a PlayStation weren't. Now that PlayStation 5 owners can play it, I think that's a good thing, because they're given an experience that they might not have had back then. If you have always console players, look, let's face it, there's been a console war for years. Now I don't think there's needed. You either got PlayStation 5, or you've got Xbox, or you've got a PC, or you've got all of them. Well done, congratulations, you're rich. But like for me, as a PC player now, I've played a lot of FPSs in the past. I will say, if you played back when this came out, an FPS was very difficult to get a good. It was very difficult to get a good one. What Halo did was introduce a new way of playing first player shooter on the console. So they did something. The Bungie managed to make a game that was console friendly. So yeah, you're able to revisit that. You're able to do that again. But since then, we've had and there's been Battlefield has come out, and that's on console. That's nothing new now. Was it Battlefield 6 or 7? I can't remember the numbers. Obviously, Call of Duty is now out. That's on console now. So there's loads of console games which are first persons, which would never have been able to play back then. Or not successfully, or not, it was never like the amount of buttons that you would have acquired to play this type of game has now been given was given a lease of life thanks to Bungie. But now it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed what I played, but it was just not worth the money. Honestly, it's just not worth the money, especially with that Audible problem that I had. Yeah,
if you're spending that much on a game, you don't really want to be waiting for a patch to come and fix it, do you? Especially when they've had the base for it since for so long.
Yeah, like I said, there is mixed reviews on Steam, and it's I don't know. I go into some of these reviews, and honestly, it's literally, personally, I don't think it's worth this asking price. If there was more modes like Firefight or something, I'd recommend this. As it stands, this is a 50% off or Game Pass type game. That's one of the negative reviews on Steam.
Honestly, I feel like that's a fair comment, though.
Yeah, I mean, literally, yeah, fair enough to that. There are others, which I'm not going to go into too many of them. But yeah, Halo, for me was, yeah, campaign involved. Graphically, yes, it's better. You can see things better. It's not as dark in terms of its lighting. I mean, this is like, I think the original Outing would have been directed by Christopher Nolan, but just because you can see
that dark.
yeah. But yes, it's fun at moments when it's fun, but then when it isn't fun, it's just like big for all the wrong reasons. Yeah, I haven't tried out those other modes. It does have a co-op mode, which allows you to, I think, up to 4 players, which originally it was only 2 players. You can have the split screen, so they have reintroduced the split screen element, so you can have someone actually next to you. I mean, it's unheard of now, but back when this first came out, split screen was the only way you could do co-op mode, and they've kept that. They've kept it in. They've allowed you to sit in the front room. You sit next to your, I don't know. I was going to say something, but maybe I shouldn't.
Oh, well, you're going to have to tell me what it is when we stop streaming, if that's the case.
No, you could have... So, what's his name? Joe, with his kids.
Oh,
fuck,
and have Manu Joe sitting there ignoring his kids.
Manu Joe
with his best mate Dave.
Manu Joe ignoring his kids with his best mate Dave. Exactly, yeah. Split screen in it. I mean, yes. It is kind of unheard of. It's unheard of now because now we can talk on Discord. We can talk to our friends. We can have full screen immersion with our friends who also have full screen. But if you really wanted to be nostalgic about it, you could split screen it. So I'm going to mention that as part of the co-op side of things. But yeah, you can do it over online, obviously. It still allows you to do that. Yeah, so how nostalgic do you want to be? 50 quid? No, not for me, thanks. But look, I've played for it now. I've done it. Yeah, I've got the replayability of trying to better myself and trying to get those other achievements. I can do that over time. I did this in a couple of days because it was before I got any of those games that we've just been speaking about. But I've done it now. It's done with. Will I uninstall it? Not yet. I might wait a little while, but I might, like I said, I'm doing a heroic run at the moment as well. So I'm going to try and do that with the Skullwind, allowing me to have all that extra unlimited ammo. I love the word unlimited. Unlimited is so great. Unlimited ammo and limited grenades, but both grenades as well. I must add, it's you can have actually both the Covenant grenade and the frag grenades. The difference between the two, I must add as well, for those who don't know, the Covenant grenade is sticky grenade. So when you land one, there are some funny lines in this. I will admit there is some funny moments in this. Some of the grunts they always had comical moments of dialogue. It's just like, look, I don't want to spoil it, but like, I'm going to say something. One of them says, "Oh no, I've wet myself." It's funny. It's funny, right? It's moments like that you can't really you don't really see in many games like this. But when the enemy's self-aware, and like, for example, "Oh no, not again." Like, how do they know they've died before? Because it's the replayability. It's you dying once and then respawning and then you killing that particular enemy. And they're like, "Oh no, not again." So yeah, there is comical moments in it. And it can be fun to play, just not fun for 50 quid. And on that note, I think I've probably said enough.
Yeah.
I think
Okay.
I've covered enough of the game to give people an understanding of what the game's about. If I haven't, please let me know. I'll try to cover anything I can. Yeah, it's campaign involved, is what it is. Look, wait for it in a sale, buy it in a sale, then get it. Honestly, I think that's what it's let us down. It's the price out of everything, and a couple of bugs. But the bugs, they got fixed again. Patch notes. Hey, where have we seen that?
Yeah.
Where have we
Did
seen
somebody say quality of life?
Right.
No, just me.
So there's my game. The game that I wanted to talk about, but the biggest game I wanted to talk about, was this. And so yeah, there we go. That's me. I'm done. I'm done. I was getting shaky. I'm going to eat. I need to eat something quickly. Sorry, I'm going to quickly. So if you want to quickly take over, feel free.
Yeah, I can do. Honestly, I mean, let me have a look at my Steam page, see what else I could talk about. Let's have a look, see. What have we got? Well, actually, I suppose I can talk a bit briefly on it. We've talked previously on the podcast about starting a game that came out recently called Mecha Chameleon, wherein it's basically hide and seek. You paying yourself to hide. And there's been a little bit of a controversy with it recently, because as anybody who plays the game is likely to know, you can kind of subscribe to different maps, beyond the ones that are just in the base game. And it was found that there was a particular map that had malware installed into it. And it was stealing people's data, and it was hacking people's computers. I believe it's been taken down now. But Mecha Chameleon has had a good couple of updates recently. I believe at the minute they're actually running an emote contest on their store page. So you paint yourself, take a photo, draw your pose, whatever, and you put it on Twitter. I suppose it's called X, but everyone calls it Twitter. They've done, honestly, like the past 5 days, not even 5 days, past week, they had an update 3.32 on July 29th, 3.30 on July 30th, 3.4.0 on July 31st, 3.5.0 on August 1st, and then 3.5.1 on August 2nd. So they're still adding a lot into this game. They've added new character body types. There's now a fat one, which is called Plump. There's a whole new set of emotes and poses that you can do. Yeah, so they have released statements about the map that was hacking people. They did also recently have a bit of a Discord server breach, which was unfortunate. But the game itself is 100% safe. It's virus-free. It's just unfortunate that this kind of game, something fun and multiplayer where you can get onto public lobbies, it is always going to attract the wrong kind of people who, aren't there to play games, are there to hack and steal data and piss people off. But it's, it is what it is. The devs are on it, and it's still very popular. I imagine it'll be one of those games that people just keep coming back to. But other than that, there's not really too much to say on it, to be honest. What else do I have that I can talk about? Not a lot, to be honest. Not a lot. Well, I am really, really wanting to get back into Blueprints. So I will likely be talking about that in the future. Like I said, I'm a little bit of a 100% hunter. I've currently, so in Blueprints, I last played it on September 3rd, 2025, so it's been nearly a year since I last touched it. I have 127 hours in the game.
Whoa.
And I am 12 of 16 achievements. I need to complete the trophy case, and I have 3 hidden achievements that I need to do, and then I'm done. But there have been updated since I last played, which I haven't actually looked at, to be honest. So they've released a couple of bundles based on like themes via Steam and that. They've done like security updates. Let me have a look. They didn't do as well in the Steam Awards last year as I thought they would, which I was disappointed about, but we have already talked about that. Though they were finalisted in quite a lot. They have released an extended version of the history of the game, which I quite enjoy because obviously there's quite a lot of lore in it that they don't necessarily explore. But other than that, it's mainly just been like patch updates, hot fixes, a little bit of like accessibility. It is now Steam Deck verified though. And there's a whole bunch of merch that they've been bringing out, which naturally. I am still hopeful that they're going to add more to the game because there was a whole bunch of stuff to do with like a train, like a railway station underneath the house that you could get to, where personally I thought that you were going to have to take the train and then go and do like a heist or whatever to find this person's like mother. And it just, there was nothing to do with it. I think they're kind of missing a trick with not giving the opportunity to get on the train and then go to a whole new building, basically, and play the game again with a different building. It's something that I'm wishing for. Do I think we'll get it? Probably not. I think they're done with the game. But it's just fun. I do miss playing it. I'll probably reinstall it soon and get reabsorbed trying to get 100% on it. But I am, honestly, since I started that game, I had struggled to find something that I've enjoyed as much as it. If you're a fan of like roguelites, then absolutely this game is for you.
I didn't realise there was so much more to be done.
Oh, Steve, there is so much you can do. Like,
I haven't been on it for a while.
So obviously you remember the main aim of the game is to get to room 46.
Yeah.
Okay. Once you get to room 46, there's more that you need to unlock. There's more secrets you need to find. There's different difficulty levels you need to go back and do everything on. There's like different missions that you can do based on certain rooms that you can get. I know, like if you get the classroom outside, there's an achievement and a trophy that you get inside the trophy case in the trophy room in the game if you draft all of the classrooms and then get 100% on the final exam. You know, there's all of like the underground to explore and puzzles to do there. There's like the final thing that really you need to do to finish at least the story is the tunnel underground with all of the cardboard boxes in it. You've got to use the laboratory to get rid of all of the cardboard boxes. And there's like all of the different doors that you've got to open after that. And then there's something at the end that kind of wraps everything together. And it was so well thought out and it was just so beautifully done that I have seriously been struggling to fill the gap.
Wow. I mean, it has been a while since I've looked into it. So I think it's just something I'm going to have to go back. Because I think the problem was I'd got to room 46 and thought, right, okay, I'm going to leave it there and come back to it. And I never went back to it. But yes, I did know there was a little bit more beyond that, but I didn't realise there was that much more beyond that. Like
so much more.
You know, there was a few areas outside on the grounds. I'm like, oh, I knew about those, and I think I unlocked the area where you have to do the chess pieces and stuff. I'm like, okay, yeah, I know that about that. But then what you're saying to me now is like, really? There's more? There's a class? Oh yeah,
there's
what?
There's beyond the general chess puzzle. There's something that there's an achievement within the house that in order to do it, you have to have the right chess piece installed.
Wow.
You know, there's ones where if you get a certain room, and you get a certain item, you have to choose the right color of that item in order to be able to get certain, like an event within a certain room. There's like all of the books that you got to unlock and get. There's, buying everything in the shop will do different things in the game. And it just, the replayability, I mean, I've said it before, I'll say it again. I first downloaded this game, okay? And I started playing it at the recommendation of a friend. And I thought, you know what, it'll be fun. Whatever. And I stayed up for near enough 24 hours. And I didn't even realize that I'd been playing the game through the night. Not until like Mr. Bingley came in and said, "Did you not come to bed?" And I realized it was light outside.
Yeah. Because
I was just that immersed and that obsessed with trying to get to a certain place or trying to get a certain room. It's beautiful. Honestly, I think it might be a contender for my favorite game of all time. Like, it is just beautifully done. And the graphics, the drawings, the visuals, the movements, it's just, it's truly a labor of love. Like, you can tell how much effort they put into the game. But now that I'm done with it, there's a hole where it was, and nothing seems to be able to fill it. It's why I've been trying all of these different like investigation games and, the murder mysteries and all of that kind of thing, because it's just trying to find something that I can spend that much time on again.
Yeah. No, we're gonna have to revisit it just because, like, it's not so much that I thought I was done. I knew I weren't done. What I should say was that I knew I weren't done. I was just like, I didn't realize how much more there was beyond what I already knew. Like, the things that I already knew, I still hadn't quite done as well. So it wasn't like I'd done it. I'd seen these things from streamers or wherever, but I didn't realize how much more beyond that there was. And that's where I was getting to. It was like, okay, yeah, I'm definitely have to. I don't think I've uninstalled it because it's not really a big game, but like, definitely have to go back to it. If I have uninstalled it, it doesn't take that much to install. It's not that big a game. It's not the 120 gigs that is Halo. It's not that big. So yeah, it won't take that long to reinstall should I need to. In fact, I don't want to click away from where I am at the moment because yeah, it's not that. Yeah. But all right, I'll go back to it at some point. But I've got to focus on making sure I try to finish off a couple of these games that we're talking about. But yeah, I'll come back. I will go back to it because I'm now very much intrigued in the idea of like there being, as I've already mentioned, but like, yeah, so much more.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I will say, Raw Fury released another game called later on that year. So Blueprints was released in the April, and this game was released in the October of 2025 called The Seance of Blake Manor.
Yeah, I've got that. Yeah.
And so I bought it because it's, I was looking for something that felt the same. And visually, the visuals are very, very similar, and it really does hit that kind of artistic style that I was after. However, The Seance of Blake Manor is very like time dependent in the sense of like you will be given a task or like a set of things that you need to complete, and you have to get it done within a certain amount of time. But to do so, you have to make sure that certain people like either are or aren't in the area. You'll have to like explore certain rooms or like find certain people. And it was just a bit too much pressure for me. I'm not a fan of necessarily things whereas like you have to be good with like time.
Yeah.
It's one of the things I liked about Blueprints is I could take as long as I like. I just had to worry about my steps.
Yeah.
Which is fine. Yeah. But with this, if I take too long or I get distracted or somebody calls me, then that's it, I'm done.
Clock's ticking, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I think I uninstalled, possibly refunded that one, to be honest, because I didn't enjoy it.
Absolutely fair. I mean, like, I think I may have been at fault on that one because I'm sure I may have said something like, yeah, this definitely looks like it could be your thing. But yeah, I obviously I got it and started playing it. I'm like, okay, I can see where we're going on this.
You know, like I'm not saying it's a bad game by any stretch of the imagination.
No.
It's, again, you can tell they put a lot of effort into it, and for somebody who doesn't care so much about like the time aspect of it, it's probably a really good game that has a similar feel to Blueprints. It's just that me personally, I can't stand that aspect of a game.
Yeah, when you're
that's all it is. It's a personal preference.
No, you're no. I that's completely fair as well. That's fine. Yeah, no, I get it. Because to be fair, I haven't gone back to it, and I've probably got maybe less, or I don't know, either less or more further in than you. But I didn't feel like I could carry on with the. I would say it is the pressure of making sure that I get to a certain point before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's why I completely understand where you're coming from on that. So yeah, that's fair. That's a fair comment. Yeah, but yeah, Blueprints though definitely go back to for me.
Absolutely. And if anybody has any game recommendations of things that you think feel similar to that game, hit me up, my guy, because I am in desperate need.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we have got something. We have got obviously, something close to it, but it's just not enough.
Yeah, the games that we've talked about tonight.
The incident at Galley House is probably as close as you're going to get without.
Yeah, the only problem with that one is it's just not long enough for me.
Yeah,
I tend to go through things quite quickly. I process quite quickly in terms of games, and I do like to binge. So Blueprints, I would finish work, I would log on, and I'd be doing that till I went to bed.
Yeah.
Weekend, I'd get up in the morning, I'd log on, I'd be doing it until I was going to bed. I want something that I can spend at least 2 weeks coming back to, ideally.
And not just complete the game in 4 hours.
And not just finish it in a day or within 2 days over the weekend.
Yeah. That's fair.
That's my problem. It's why, when I started playing Divinity, I did that for maybe a month because it was something I could just keep going back to, so it kept my attention. But things like Divinity, Baldur's Gate, I don't necessarily want an open world RPG. I want something like Blueprints. I want something that's, kind of roguelike, kind of exploratory, kind of investigation. I want something that's going to make me think.
Do you know what? Have you have you played This Bed We Made?
I haven't, but it is on my wish list. It's something that I know you played it.
Yes.
And I did watch some of your stream when you were doing it, and I have put it on my wish list because you were playing it and it looked good. I just haven't got around to buying it yet.
Okay. The reason I'm going to say this is that they've also got another. I think there's another story to it, Lost and Found.
Okay.
This Bed We Made story, just because it extends what that already is, but you still need to get I think you still need to get This Bed We Made anyway before sort of venturing down that, and that's why I just thought I'd mention it. But yeah, This Bed We Made, like you said, I played it a while ago. Mystery, story rich. It's a female protagonist. Yeah, it's from Low Birth Games, published and developed by, and it's currently 50% off. But I mean, we shouldn't really mention how much something is marked down by because the sales happen all the time.
They change so fast.
It's currently It's $29.99, but like I said, it is 50% off at the moment, so $10.49. But that might change. But if you get the Sophie's Adventures bundle, you get the Lost and Found. I might actually add this, the Lost and Found, just so I can extend that universe. But that's for me. But yeah, I'm just thinking, those sort of traits that you're looking for. I think that definitely that would maybe suit what you're the needs that you're looking for.
Yeah, maybe.
Mystery.
I mean, like it is something that I've had on my wish list for a while. I think I would probably do it now with it being like, money off. The only thing is I have bought like 3 games this month.
Yeah, that's
so
fair.
it'll probably have to wait until next payday, just because I don't like spending all my money this early in the month.
And that's completely fair. That's completely fair, obviously. But yeah, I just thought I'd throw that into the works as well, just sort of like as another thing that gives you that detective kind of feel, like you're having to work something out, having to piece things together. I can't really think of anything else that springs to mind, at least, that like in terms of the mystery story rich kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, it doesn't necessarily have to be like a mystery story rich, but like my problem is, obviously, I'm autistic. You know this, right? In order to get the serotonin going, I need something I can hyperfixate on.
Yeah.
So if it doesn't grab me and keep me there for long enough, I'm either going to get bored or I'm going to finish it too quickly because I'm not consuming it like a normal person where I log on and I do an hour and then I, go and live the rest of my life. I'm sitting down and I'm playing it until I go to bed.
Yeah.
So, like even things like Peak, I've played Peak more than I think anyone in our friend group because I went back and did it solo because there were new badges to do and there were different biomes and because it was repetitive and it was fun and it changed every day. Yeah. So I can keep coming back to it. Like The Binding of Isaac, I've been playing that for 12 years now? On and off, because every day I can log on, I can do the daily. There's, especially when my file corrupted because of the beta, I have to go back and redo all of my unlocks. So I need, it's the time element for me in terms of like, I need something that's going to last me at least long enough to keep me interested, because like the incident at Galley Manor was so fun. It was so great, but I did finish it in 2 days. If it were longer, I'd have been in love.
Yeah.
What was the other good one that I told you about? That even the basic one that we talked about previously on this podcast, that is the seat taken.
Yes.
Such a simple premise, right?
Yeah.
And I finished the game in one sitting. If that had just kept going, I'd still be playing it.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be wildly complicated or convoluted. I just need something that's going to be stimulating enough that it gets the serotonin going, and long enough that I feel satiated.
There's a few things that I could probably throw out, but I don't know if it's just because in my mind that's what I think of. But it might not match what you want. And so yeah, I'll just be careful of not saying anything without it being the wrong thing. But like, just to get an understanding, is it something that you would consider being pointy clicky or pointy clicky detective, pointy clicky puzzle detective?
I enjoy all of those. Okay, I enjoy all of those. I do particularly enjoy like Choices Matter or something with a good story because it does draw me in. But I'm a fan of my deck builders, my roguelikes. I'm not afraid for something that's going to have me like moving about and exploring. But I do, it's just got to be stimulating. I'm not the kind of person that can just sit and play a shooty FPS for hours on end.
Oh yeah. No.
We play Fortnite, and towards the end of the night, I'm like, do you want to switch to something else? Because I enjoy the game, but it's the same thing over and over again.
Yeah. No, I get.
And I'd like my brain is going at like 23 miles an hour at any given point. And that doesn't sound fast, but for a slab of wet meat operating a skeleton, it's fast.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's all. If I'm not stimulated enough, I'm just not going to do it. And I know that's the autism talking.
Yeah.
Because I know that, like, people that who lean more towards like the ADHD side of things have the opposite problem. If it's too stimulating, they won't touch it.
Yeah.
Whereas for me, if it's not good enough to make me want to hyperfixate on it, I'm not going to play it. But if it's good enough for me to want to hyperfixate on it and it's not long enough for me to feel like I've had a good run with it, then I'm going to be left like itching because it was really, really good, but there's not enough of it.
Yeah. So you're trying to fill that void of...
Yeah.
No, I
the serotonin got started, but then it went away.
Yeah. No, it was just there. If there's anything that comes around that I think is useful, I'll drop it in the Discord. I mention it. Because, you never know. It might be something either. If it isn't, you'll just ignore it either way, wouldn't you? So it'd be not...
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like, by all means, everybody listening to this, if you think of something and you think, oh, that could be it, send me a game recommendation. I'll check out the Steam page. If it doesn't look interesting, I won't get it. If it looks interesting, I'll get it. I am, with every day, though, I'm more and more tempted to reinstall Blueprints and just try to go for the 100%, just because I know that it'll keep my attention. But then at the same time, I don't want to, because I know that as soon as I have 100%, I'm going to be fucking depressed again.
No, there are a lot of this sort of detective puzzle mystery game point and clicks out there. It's just a question of whether or not it's the word scratches that itch for you at least. So yeah,
that's it. It's like, I mean, when I was younger, I used to sit at my granddad's computer and play those kind of interactive point and click hidden object mystery games, and we would just sit and we would binge them. It's always been something that I've been interested in. So it's just now it's just a case of finding something that I can do for long enough.
Yeah,
because I've played a lot of really good games, but if it's too short, I'm just left like, what the fuck do I do now? Ballads at Midnight, I think I said to you, that was a really good story game that wasn't necessarily your screen's changed, by the way.
Sorry. Yeah, I know. Sorry. I was just there we go. I just seen something whilst we were talking.
Yeah, I have checked that one out. I just haven't bought it yet.
Yeah, I just seen something. I thought if I don't say it now, or if I don't mention it, I can try to pull it in the Discord. So then I haven't forgotten it. So that's why I needed to do that. And that came up literally whilst we were talking, and that is why I also mentioned if it, scratching the itch and stuff. So if you've seen it, then maybe it's not something you've added yourself, or something that you've gone, no, not interested.
I mean, it didn't take my fancy when I first looked at it, but I also wasn't not interested. I think it was just a case of, well, I've just played another, like the game, I've just played Galley Manor, and it's by the same people and it's the same premise. I want something else now.
Yeah, right.
But when I want the same thing again, it's probably something that I'll end up buying. So it is on my wish list.
And also because it's similar to the games you may have played. So that's what I've just got as well. So it's like the Blueprints and the Galley House. I was like, okay, that is why I thought I'd add that. For those wondering what we was talking about, is the routers are dead. Excuse me. Which is basically detective puzzle mystery point and click. What about are you do you care about the aesthetics or the graphics of something? Do you favor, like, say, the FMVs, the full motion video type?
I wouldn't say that I have a specific preference. For me, it's more of a vibes thing. Like, if I check out the page and the summary looks good and I've been told it's good and it looks like it's going to pique my interest, then I'll play it. I appreciate good visuals and I appreciate, like, things that work like that. But I enjoyed Blueprints for the visuals and how all of that moved. But I also really enjoyed like the incident at Galley Manor, which is more of a one scene, one person. Sometimes that person's character will like flip so that you can tell that they've changed where they're looking, but it's not like a video, you know.
Yeah.
I don't really have a preference on it, to be honest.
No, obviously the only reason why I said that is because like there are a lot of point and click sort of games, but they're mostly FMV, choice matters, female protagonists, or or all of them in one. Do you know what I mean? So that and I just wanted to get an image in my mind as to whether that made any difference. But I guess it comes down to whatever stimulates.
Yeah, it honestly, it genuinely is. Like the one that you've put in chat, the Root Trees Are Dead. It's something that I will end up playing. I know I will, right? Because it does look good, and it looks very similar to the incident at Galley Manor. But when I looked at it once I'd finished that game, it didn't tickle the right part of my brain, so I didn't get it.
Yeah. No,
but at one point, I know that it will tickle the right part of my brain, so I remembered the title.
No, I mean, like, and the only reason I say a lot of this is because I do watch a lot of Twitch, and I do follow some Twitch streamers that actually have a similar liking for the games that you've mentioned, and that's why I wanted to sort of like also bring into the fold of like whether or not you personally like the FMV style games, or I mean, not everyone does, but there's a connection there, so that's why I thought about it, and that's why I brought it up. But no, I mean, if I can come up with a game, then great. I'll try and help if I can. But yeah, that was the only reason for me bringing those into it. Yeah, but no, that's actually it's really interesting actually. Yeah, I think we've covered a lot of games tonight. I think we've done quite a lot. Yeah, no, I think we've done really well this week. I
think we've talked about just about everything that we've been playing recently, really, haven't we?
We have, and we've talked about...
it's been a while since we've had a good catch-up on games.
Yeah, and that's why we want to do this. That's why we want to mention these. We can come back. Obviously, we will definitely be talking about the next Phasmo update at some point when it drops. Not to say we're not going to do it. We're not doing it tonight, but in every podcast we have to mention the words Phasmo and phobia in that order. Just because. But yeah, there is nothing to mention today, so sorry to disappoint, but yeah, we will definitely, like I said, mention it once that next quality of life update comes. It's not that far away. I think it is definitely this month, and I think it's in not too far away now. I think it's kind of either next week or the week after. So depending,
I really do hope to fix the headsets.
Oh my god, please!
The headsets sitting over the book is just such a pain in the arse.
Yeah, it's I really I get...
trying to like flip through the evidence is just pissing me off, honestly.
No, I get that. Hopefully they do. But we'll let you know. We'll let you know, and we'll let Kate know, and we'll let you guys know when it does happen, when it does drop, as and when it comes out. That is the next quality of life #2. Because we've already had one, and even that had a patch. So
in true Phasmophobia style.
So yeah, there's our only mention of it today. So yeah, I guess that's pretty much us done.
I think it is. Yeah, I mean, I've got to admit. Oh, sorry, big yawn.
Big yawn.
Jesus Christ, I'm tired. Yeah,
that's fair.
I've got to admit, I have been so busy with work. I have not had time to sit and do another Is It or Isn't It, but I will work on having one for the next podcast.
Okay, you know what? No problem. Then in that case, if I can, right. In that case, just before we end, as it is the gaming podcast this week, can I just throw out there the next? These are the up and coming game releases for the next few days, before next week, at least.
Mm-hmm.
Over on Steam. For those who are interested, these are coming out over on the. I know today's the 5th. Available on the 6th of August. These are the, and then after that, 7th. I think we've got 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. I think.
Within the next week, you will
within the next week, you will find Iron Nest, heavy turret simulator, simulating simulation realistic 3D game. It is literally just what it says on the tin. It's military simulation realistic 3D and alternate history type game. Could be interesting. I don't know how much it is. It's be added to the wish. It's not valuable until the next. There's no price on it, which is weird because it doesn't come out. It comes out tomorrow. So I'm surprised that they haven't actually announced the price on that yet. I guess you're going to have to wait until the 6th of August for that Marvel talk-on. I wanted to say Tolkien, as in, like, Lord of the Rings.
Isn't JRR, yeah.
Yeah. Fighting Souls is an action casual 2D fighter arcade. That is £60, 60 British pounds. So there's a price on that one. I know, right? It's a 2D, again, it's a 2D fighter, but it is Marvel. So you got your Marvel characters.
That's the Marvel tax.
Yeah, that is where it's coming from. Disney are picking up on that one, aren't they? Restory Chill Electronics Repairs is job simulator. It's a cozy management economy simulator. So yeah, just literally what it says on the tin. It is fix something that is electronic, and then you see a lot of these on YouTube where someone has an electronic device and they've got a head cam and they're just looking at the device, send it in to be repaired, and we'll send it back to you. It's basically that's what it is. How much is it? Again, there's no price on it because it's not out until tomorrow, because that's what it is. And then we got no, that's 7th. Let's go. Wait. We're going ahead of ourselves. Dig Die is a horror online 1 to 6 player board a cruise. A cursed flying ship, raid hundreds of graveyards for loot and survive monsters that hear every sound. Beware of UFO. Abduction, sorry. You've been abducted. Grab boosters from vending machines. Grapple in the onboard casino. Gamble, even. I'm struggling with reading tonight. And embrace pure chaos with friends in voice chat. Yeah, I don't know how much that is. It's coming out on the 6th. On the 7th of August, you've got Giant Rot, online co-op, first-person survival horror, action roguelike. Add that to your wish list. That's coming out on the 7th. It is horror co-op extraction builder. Think Repo, but with like robots. Well, I suppose it's more conventional robots rather than sort of those I don't know, hill type.
Whatever the fuck they were.
Whatever they were. Descend with your friends into shafting ruins, rip out furniture and salvage for loot before the corrupt close in. Make it back alive, then rebuild the outpost to better your chances for the next run. So yeah, so a looter kind of thing. Again, on the 7th is Chop Inc. Build your own furniture empire after gathering Fired from Phonox Corp. There's a big finger up on that one in the description. Chop down trees, process wood, automate your growing production line, and sell furniture sets for bonus cash. So it's a simulation crafting comedy, first person, and that will have a price when it's released on the 7th. And again on Cellar Keeper. Do you remember that book, The Library Keeper? This is the Cellar version. Yeah, this is basically Cellar. So it's basically collect the bottles of wine and put them on the shelves. It's the same kind of thing.
Why do that when you could just drink them?
I know, right? They're all on the floor. Oh, well, we'll just pick up one bottle, drink it, down it, throw the bottle away.
Exactly. Problem solved.
So, yeah, that's basically the same as the Cellar one, as the...
As if I'm getting called a pisshead in chat.
as if I'm not already down to 2 glasses of gin. Anyway, also, so that's the 7th of August, and then we've got the 10th of August is PAX Creatakia. Sorry, I couldn't pronounce that correctly there. It's another building sim, colony sim, action roguelike. Why make a building base game, colony sim, even more difficult by adding roguelike to it? But there you go. It is. So that's coming out on the 10th. It says for me, similar to a Planet Crafter and then Shrouded. So yes, another crafting sim, but with the added bonus that it's got action roguelike added to it, so it's difficult. That's on the 10th. And then on the 12th, we've got Agefield High Rock School. This is basically Grand Theft Auto. It's basically it's basically that and Bully. You remember the Bully game back in the day? Yeah, it's kind of that combined. It's
nice.
Relive your high school days in the town of Agefield. It's the early 2000s. Rebel with your friends, win over your dream girl, and rock the school. So, in the coming-of-age adventure about friendship, love, and rebellion, inspired by the raunchy teen comedies of the era. So, yeah, I guess American Pie kind of thing springs to mind. Adventure, open world, action, third-person comedy, and that is on the 12th of August. And then, finally, on the 13th of August, low budget repairs. Does exactly what it said. It's a simulator, funny, relaxing, casual, cleaning 3D, manage renovations in the 90s apartment blocks, focus on quick profit and cut costs wherever possible. I guess it's House Flipper, but with a slight twist of not giving a fuck kind of thing of how much it costs. Yeah. It's House Flipper, but done on the cheap, and they don't literally looking at the trailer. It's like putting up tiles, but they just pull it up however they want and going, yeah, you know what? We'll just stick tape across that and it's done. So yeah, those are the games coming up in the next few days, few weeks, and the reason I done it this week and not before is because we'll probably change the subject next time, so we won't have time to mention any of the up and coming games. There is demos for all of those games that I've said. Feel free to check them out. There are so much more. I'm not going to have time to go through them all right now, but feel free. That's what's coming up on the Steam in the next, like I said, next week or two. So those are the games that you might like, unless you're a Marvel fan. So, yeah. In which case, good luck. 60 quid. And I said, I won't mind, but I thought Halo was expensive. Yeah, so that is it for this week's podcast. Yeah, I don't think you got anything to add, I suppose. Have you? No,
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. So that's what we've been getting up to recently, and that is what we might be what we might be continuing on with in the next few days, weeks, months, whatever. So thank you very much for listening this week to this week's To Be Decided podcast, which you can hear over on Spotify, Amazon Music, and Apple Podcasts, as well as your other podcast platforms. Just give us a look up Mr. Steve and Mrs. Bingly's To Be Decided, and hopefully you'll find us there. And don't forget, also on the YouTube channel, this has been edited and it gets put up to there. So if you don't, and
all of my cussing is effectively removed.
I've managed to no. See, on these podcasts, I now include the fact that it does contain obscenities. I was like, you know what? I can't be bothered to edit out all the fucks and the bollocks. So,
I mean, if you took out my swearing, right, this 2.5 hour episode would probably be about 45 minutes. I'm well aware of my flaws.
Yeah. I get told off quite a lot because I do actually drop the F one quite a lot. I don't even realise I'm doing it. Sometimes I do, but then that's justifiable. At least I think it is. And in my mind, it is. But yeah. I always try to justify anything I do in life with a curse word here and there. Do I give a fuck? No, I don't. That's how we're ending, apparently. Yeah, thank you very much for listening. We'll hope to see you again next time on the next episode. Bye for now. Bye.